Well, ahoy, mateys, and welcome aboard the SS Book Review with your captain, me, Erica Barrett. Thank you for joining me today as I lead us through an investigation on Lead Like a Pirate, Make School Amazing for Your Students and Staff by Shelley Burgess and Beth Huff, published in 2017. I hope you enjoy my book review. I thank you for being here. If you think that this book only involves eye patches and parrots, you are wrong. What it really does offer is a high energy framework for school leadership, which is grounded in passion, presence, and culture building. So let's set sail. One of the reasons that I decided to choose this book was that leadership right now, I believe, in addition to all of the wonderful strategies we've been learning and the policies that we have to follow, really does require energy and passion and presence and culture building. And so this book appealed to me a bit. I must also say the second reason is because I love a good pun. And as an elementary school principal, I love a theme. This book had been referred to me before. I never got an opportunity to read it, but it was something that was always kind of in the back of my mind. So this was a perfect opportunity for me to give it a chance. This book boasts an energetic, culture focused leadership framework. It is written by two authors who have a variety of experiences in many settings. They share lots of their personal experiences, challenges, um, all different things that have taken place in their career. I also did check it out and it had pretty good ratings, a 4.8 on Amazon, and on Goodreads, it had a 4.3. So people seem to like it, and I thought that I might give it a chance. I do like the idea of finding treasure within the places that we already work, and so I was curious to see if it would help me find some treasures that I could uncover. The book itself is really set up into four sections and it is rooted in this idea of the pirate theme. So let's dig in a little bit. The first section is Lead Like a Pirate, which you'll find a little bit more about the acronyms. The second section is X Marks the Spot. Leadership Treasures. The third section is Coach Like a Pirate, and section four is Be a Better Captain. All in all, the entire goal of the book, as they claim, is to create schools that students and staff want to run into instead of running out of. And at the heart, as I said, is this acronym PIRATE. I did put everything here for you to reference on the next page, but I did think that this quote set the scene for what they wanted to put forth. Pirate leaders are courageous. They inspire and influence others to follow them, even in the face of great risk. They lead their crew on a journey to seek great riches and rewards, but the treasure pirate leaders seek is not gold, it's better. There were a lot of themes in this book that related to transformational leadership, and I know you'll see it on this slide. It was understated, but it kind of was a consistent concept all the way through. So these are the core concepts of pirate leadership. It is an acronym. There is more to be discussed in each section. But what you should know about the breakdown is the book is broken down into these sections, but within there are tinier chunks of chapters that delve into each one of these acronyms. So passion, immersion, rapport, ask and analyze, transformation, and enthusiasm. The beginning of each chapter has a very cute little treasure map. On that treasure map, it has a compass to guide you with things to look out for. It also has cannonballs to avoid. And at the end of each chapter, it has a reflection piece that you can reflect on your own experiences. Within the book, there are also some really great takeaways that you can use just right out in your hand. Keep it out on your desk. Questions for PLCs that take ordinary questions and transform them into higher level questions that would promote conversation. There are also sample interview questions. So within the book, there are lots of tiny little gold nuggets. The second section of the book was X Marks the Spot, the leadership treasure. There were so many that were available. I pulled out a few that kind of related to conversations we've had in this course. So, setting your compass was about finding your why, harnessing the power of teams was about empowering those around you, and the leadership styles we've discussed. Finding the magic in people, once again, empowering, not the programs. And if it's important, make time. The third section talked about coaching like a pirate. And once again, yet another acronym came up tied to the theme having anchor conversations, sharing appreciation, noticing the impact, having collaborative conversations, honoring voice and choice, offering support and reflection. Right in that theme, a lot of really great takeaways from this section of the book when they were talking about developing staff, having difficult conversations, and pinpointing things that really could transform what goes on. I found that this was one of the better takeaways of the book because it had real actionable materials that you could use and to really reflect on the conversations that you're already having. The last section was a shorter section, Be a Better Captain. It was not only about self care, but about remembering to go for greatness, tap into professional learning networks, because growth mindset and professional learning networks were a huge focus in this book. That was how one of the authors really got her start, is attending a national conference that reinvigorated her passion. Dealing with critics, which everyone has to do in leadership roles, regardless of where you are, and staying true to your roots, highly important. A lot of core themes ran throughout all of the chapters of the book. They were repetitive: culture, being built with intention, focusing on relationships because they are at the center of absolutely everything, taking risks with innovation, trusting your crew, having a lot of engagement, being visible and engaged in the work that you do, showing up and being bold, a lot of recognition for the people that are around you, and maintaining that growth mindset to never stop learning. All right. As far as what I found to be the strengths of the book, there were many. I found it to be highly motivating and energizing. It had a great theme. It added an exciting flair. It was a quick, easier, kind of palpable read that you could read a chapter, put it into practice, read a chapter, put it into practice. It was, I would say, a lighter read because of the type of theme that it had. You really couldn't read a few pages without feeling excited and energized. It also had a really strong focus on culture and building relationships, a lot of real life examples that these leaders went through on their own and provided insight as to how that approach led to results with real people in different settings, different roles, different populations. And I thought that that was great. It's also very easy to follow with all the acronyms. It's kind of cute. It has like a nice theme. It's accessible, in my opinion, to many leaders, whether you are just starting out or if you're further along in your career looking for some excitement to add in, was very accessible. It could be for coaches, it could be for team leaders, it could be for principals, it could be for district leaders. Really anybody I think it might work for. Some limitations that I found to be the case, because of course no book is perfect, is that there were limited discussions of system level issues that went to the root of certain things. So equity components were not really addressed, policy conflicts. There wasn't a lot of discussion about if there are teachers unions or from state to state, any of the barriers that they kind of overcame. Also, there were a lot of references to professional development, and that is related to budget. Not everyone has the opportunity to attend these incredible national conferences. There also were takeaways, but not a lot of evaluation metrics. And so some of the sections felt a little bit idealistic in some of the circumstances. If you're not this type of reader, it could feel a bit gimmicky, providing a limitation there that there are lots of acronyms, lots of cutesy things. While the meaning of it is great, if you're not that type of a reader, you might want to skip this book and go on to the next one. And again, there were really great takeaways. I listed a few on a few pages that I thought were really helpful, loved them. But overall, it is a bit more inspirational than technical in practice for its plans. As far as the professional analysis, for me, I thought that it was very effective for mindset shaping, for inspiration, and for culture building. It has a really great motivational framework, but it does have slightly limited operational depth as far as I was concerned. I think it would be better suited for newer leaders or those looking for little quick bites for inspirational reads throughout the year. And I thought it might be a great addition to a book club for an administrative team or a professional learning network. Overall, my rating is 4 out of 5 gold coins. I thought this was a really great read. It was fun. It was exciting. It was very quick to get through, even though it's over 200 pages, but it went by very quickly. So I did enjoy it. And I hope that if you are interested in reading this book, you check it out. Here are my resources. I listed the reviews, obviously the authors, and Goodreads, as well as the slide presentation that I utilize with my premium subscription. Thank you so much for your time, and I can't wait to read and listen to all of your reviews. Have a great day.